Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying. So guys, Jermall Charlo basically tells Golovkin, let's fight. You know, he wants to fight Gennady Golovkin. Now, I saw DAZN trying to push that fight as well. I don't know whether there's negotiations or things happening in the back where those two are negotiating a fight. I hope that fight happens. It's a massive fight. It's a huge fight. It's a huge fight, and I'd love to see Gennady Golovkin against Jermall Charlo. I think it's perfect timing. I think Golovkin isn't the fighter he was, but he's still a very dangerous fight. And he's got a good trainer in Jonathan Banks. He's looking to add things to his game. Jermall is very, very strong, very, very good. And I think that stylistically makes for a fight. And I think Golovkin would like that fight because I don't think he has to go looking for Jermall Charlo. I think that's a very, very hard fight for Charlo and Golovkin. I think it's a very good fight. Would Charlo be able to beat someone like Golovkin? I think that's what we want to see, because we want to see Charlo really step up against someone like that. It makes for a very interesting fight. Now, one thing I will say is about the Charlo brothers. I want to talk about Jermall a little bit. Jermall, for me, he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Like, Jermall Charlo, for me, has done a lot more than his brother, in the sense, what I mean by that is that the guy's one belt away from being undisputed, and I believe that fight's been made with Castano. I believe he'll beat Castano and become an undisputed champion. And you know what? Everybody's talking about Josh Taylor and being in the top 5 pound for pound. Where's Jermall? People don't even have Jermall in their top 10 pound for pound. How can you not have Charlo in your top 10 pound for pound? Unbelievable stuff. You know, when you think about Josh Taylor, everybody's talking about him being like Jermall Charlo. Nobody even considers, like, I've not even seen anybody put him in their top 10. I don't know whether he is in the Ring magazine, but from what I've seen, most people that do a top 10 pound for pound list, like these organized, they don't have Jermall in there. He's got 3 belts. He's about to clean out a division. And for me, he's doing a lot more than his brother, Jermall. Jermall is almost going to become undisputed. I don't think he's getting the credit he deserves. He's a quality fighter, his brother, Jermall Charlo. Quality fighter. He's about to become undisputed. And I don't see them being in the top, like, I don't see them being talked about, you know. Jermall, fair enough, I feel like he's got a bit to do. But Jermall should definitely be in the top 10. And if he beats Brian Castano, like, if we're talking about Josh Taylor, right? I know Jermall has lost a fight, but then he revenged that loss against Tony Harrison, and he's beat a lot of top fighters. Jermall, you know, he's going to fight another one in Castano. He's about to become undisputed. Surely he should be in the top 10 pound for pound with 3 belts and about to fight another champion and a good chance that he becomes undisputed. I don't understand why he's overlooked, Jermall. So yeah, I wanted to get that in there because I definitely think Jermall Charlo is a quality fighter. Quality fighter, and I think he deserves a lot more credit than what he gets. I definitely don't think he's talked about enough. And I think he should be a bigger star, Jermall, than he is. And hopefully, if he cleans up the 154 pound division, I'm pretty sure he'll move up to 160. Hopefully he can get the fights he wants at 160, because Jermall Charlo is definitely top 10 pound for pound right now. 3 belts. He's fighting for the undisputed against Castano. He wins that. For me, you can easily shift him in the top 6, top 5, top 7 pound for pound. Easy. Because he would just to be undisputed, cleaned out a division. Then he can move up and look to do the same at 160. So, yeah, going back to Jermall, I think Jermall needs a big fight. He needs, I think he's had a good fight against Derevyanchenko, but now he's fighting Montiel, which is, I believe, is a step back. He needs a big fight, and I think fair enough he can have this fight against Montiel. You know, it's a decent fight for him. But then if he comes through and wins like most people expect him to do, I think we need to see him in there with a Golovkin. We need a big name. Jermall needs a big name to get himself out there, because I don't think right now. I think he hasn't really had that super fight, and I think Golovkin would be that. You know, Jermall seems to be talking he's talking a lot of sense, in the sense that it seems like he wants that fight. You know, he's even said, I'll be the B-side. You know, I'm willing to go to his backyard and things like that. So he's talking as if like he really wants to fight. Because sometimes guys just talk, but then you can tell when they're negotiating things, they don't really want it. And whereas I think Jermall is being realistic and he wants to fight, and I think he wants a big fight now. He knows that the importance of a big fight. And let's be honest, Golovkin right now is the best time to probably get him. Golovkin's 39 years of age. I think that fight makes a lot of sense. So let's hope they can get that fight over the line. Let's hope that they can make that fight. I do think that's a great stylistic matchup as well, because both guys like to fight. You know, both guys don't take a step back. They like to come forward and have a fight. Now, I don't know whether Jermall in this fight would, because Golovkin's very strong and he punches very hard. I don't know whether he'd look to box more, he'd look to move, because one of his conditions, well, although he said he'll be the B-side and he'll be willing to go to his backyard, one of his conditions said, I want a big ring. So I think that probably tells you that he'd probably be looking to move more. I don't think anybody, it's a good idea. It doesn't matter how strong you are, and Jermall's definitely a strong guy. I don't think it's a good idea for anybody to go toe-to-toe with Gennady Golovkin. I think he punches too hard. He's too relentless. He's got such a great chin. So personally, I think the fight with him and Charlo, I like it. It also gives Charlo an opportunity to prove that he's, you know, the best middleweight out there. It gives Charlo an opportunity to become a star, which at the minute you have to say that, you know, unfortunately, although they're both very good fighters, from a profile standpoint, they're not that big. Both Charlo brothers, they're not as big as they should be. They should be huge stars, in my opinion. Especially Jermall, the fact that he's one belt away from becoming undisputed, and I believe he will become undisputed. I think the Golovkin fight, though, for Jermall would be a breakout fight if he can come through and win that fight, which, by the way, I don't think is an easy fight. I actually think it's a 50-50 at this point, because I don't know what Golovkin's got left. And I think there's still question marks on how good Jermall Charlo is, because against Korobov, a lot of people thought Jermall lost. And, you know, Korobov's a different fighter to Golovkin. Golovkin comes forward, he's more of a pressure fighter. But yeah, I can't wait. To be honest, I think it's a fight that we need to see. It's a fight we need to see, and I think it would be a big fight. I think it would be a big fight, a big promotion. I think DAZN are pushing for it, because they were talking about it on, I think Ak and Barak were talking about it. I think they obviously want the fight because they think it does big business for DAZN. It's a big money fight for both guys, and it's an opportunity for Jermall Charlo to really show everybody how good he is. Because right now, like I said, there's question marks around his resume. There's question marks about how good he really is. So until he proves himself against a Golovkin, an Andrade, I know he beat Derevyanchenko, which was a good step in the right direction. But personally, I think now he needs a Golovkin fight. He needs a big fight. You know, even an Andrade. Now, Andrade looks like he's in negotiations with Chris Eubank, which be a big fight, a big profile fight. But I definitely feel that a fight between Jermall Charlo and Golovkin would be a great fight. And I think styles make fights. And I think stylistically that fight would be a great watch. Because like I said, they're both come forward fighters. I do think that Jermall would have to adjust a little bit in this fight. I'm not sure he's gonna be able to come forward and use his strength, because I think against Golovkin, it's just a crazy thing to do, to come forward and fight him toe to toe. I just don't think it's a good idea. He'd have to box and move a lot more, because if you go toe to toe with Golovkin, there's a great chance that, you know, you come out unstuck, because like I said, Golovkin's a beast. So I do think he's going to have to box and move a lot more in that fight. And that's why he probably suggested that he'd fight him, be the B-side, but he won a big ring, because I think he realizes that a small ring means that Golovkin can come to him, break him down, get to him a lot easier. And again, Golovkin's very strong. And let's not forget, Jermall is a guy that's moved up. I know he's a very big dude. You know, he's a big guy, but nevertheless, Golovkin's always been at 160. And Golovkin, as we know, granite chin, punches very hard. You know, there's no way you can stand and trade with that guy. I don't see anyone being able to stand and trade with Golovkin and coming out on top. Doesn't matter how hard you are. The guy's level of toughness is on another level. The guy's chin, like, is unbelievable. So I just think standing in trade with him is just crazy because he's got a great chin and he punches really, really hard. So the chances are you're gonna come out, come out of the exchanges hurt, or probably there's a great chance that you'll get put down or you'll get wobbled. Like, I just don't think exchanging with Golovkin's a good idea because I think it's literally impossible. Like, he's shown that so far in his career, he literally can't be hurt. Like, I know in his last fight against or not, was it his last fight? But when he fought Derevyanchenko, Derevyanchenko hurt him to the body. So maybe that might be a strategy that Jermall tries to go to. But in terms of his chin, wow, that guy's probably got one of the best chins that I've ever seen. The unbelievable chin. His chin, the punches just bounce off his chin. I literally just bounce off his chin and he keeps walking. I've never seen him, like, when he gets hit with a shot, like, his body language change. Like, even Canelo, I saw one shot. Canelo landed an overhand right. Literally put full, like, a huge... And Canelo's very explosive. He landed a huge overhand right. I think it might have been the first fight. And Golovkin literally didn't even tittle him. He kept coming forward. It just literally bounced off his chin. And I was like, wow. This guy's level of toughness is different level. Like, there's guys that are tough. Like, Carl Froch was tough. But Carl Froch got put down many times, or got put down a couple of times in his career. But Golovkin's level of toughness is like, you can't even tittle this guy. I've never even seen him hurt. Like, you know what I mean hurt? Like, wobbled or buzzed, or like, literally the guy's level of toughness and chin is just made out of different stuff. So this is why I think when going toe-to-toe with Golovkin, I just don't think there's going to be anyone as tough as him. And then he punches really hard as well. He's a big puncher. So firstly, you've got a guy that's just really tough, probably the toughest guy in boxing. And then you got a guy that's probably one of the biggest punchers in boxing. That's not a good combination to go toe-to-toe with somebody like that. That's a great... If you're going to go toe-to-toe with somebody like that, the chances are you're going to come out second best. So I think Jermall Charlo, will look to box and use his boxing skills. And look to use his jab, which Jermall Charlo's got a good jab. And look to, pick Golovkin off, look to outbox him. Because if you get into exchange, I think you have to exchange with, at times, you're not going to... Golovkin's too good a boxer for you to go 12 rounds just outboxing him all day. You're going to have to exchange with him because Golovkin's got great feet and he cuts off the ring. That's another issue for Golovkin now because Golovkin's getting older. Is he going to be able to cut off the ring the way he used to? Because before he used to just like cut the ring off and literally you had nowhere to go. He was on top of you all the time. And then it was the relentless pressure and the power shots that he was hitting you to the body, and he was just a monster. So yeah, this is a fight that really, for me, gets me excited. It makes me... These are the kind of fights we want to see. And I actually think this would be a cracking fight. And a fight at this stage, because Golovkin is 39 and isn't in his prime, it's a fight that could go either way. And it's an unbelievable matchup. I think I rate Jermall. I rate both Charlo brothers, by the way. I rate both Charlo brothers. I think they're really good for the sport, and I think they're really good fighters. Probably a little underappreciated. Especially Jermall, with what he's doing and about to become undisputed, looking to, I feel like he's taking on the best, and he's about to become undisputed in my opinion because I believe he'll beat Brian Castano. So yeah, hopefully he can move up to 160. That makes the 160-pound division even better. It makes the 160-pound division even thicker, and I actually think both. I think Jermall is a huge guy as well. I think he can go to 160. I just think he's a guy that can still make 154, and he's still making it comfortably, obviously. I think once he becomes undisputed, I don't think there's going to be anything for him to do. And I think he'll move up to 160. So yeah, I'm excited for the Charlo's future because I definitely think both guys are really good. But let's see what happens. Let's see if this Golovkin fight comes out with Jermall. Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.